The bank was quiet when a black man stepped up to the counter with a withdrawal slip. He wasn't loud, aggressive, or impatient, just direct. But that didn't stop the manager from flagging him as suspicious. What the manager didn't know? That man wasn't just a customer, he was the bank's CEO, and in 9 minutes everything would change. His name was Marcus Green. He wore plain jeans, a dark hoodie, and old sneakers. Nothing flashy, just a man running errands. He carried no briefcase, had no bodyguards, and gave off zero hints of wealth or status. But behind his modest appearance was a mind that had built an empire. Marcus preferred staying low-key, and today that choice would become a test, not of money but of judgment, bias, and the silent assumptions that follow a black man everywhere. Marcus wasn't born into money. He grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 siblings raised by a single mother who worked 2 jobs. He studied by candlelight, hustled through night shifts, and launched his first business from a borrowed laptop. Over the years, he climbed, one deal, one risk, one late night at a time, until he became CEO of one of the country's fastest-growing financial firms. Though he owned several branches, Marcus often visited undercover. To him, how people treated ordinary customers revealed far more than polished mission statements ever could. It was late afternoon when Marcus entered the downtown branch, a busy hub known for quick transactions. He needed to withdraw $15,000, an amount small and routine for him. He filled out the slip quietly, waiting patiently in line behind other customers. When he reached the teller, she glanced at the withdrawal amount, then at Marcus, and suddenly her smile faltered. Nervously, she leaned toward the counter and called for the branch manager. The tension in the room shifted. Something was off, and Marcus could feel it. The manager, Mr. Whitaker, stepped forward with a forced smile, but eyes sharp with suspicion. "Sir, I'll need additional identification and a reason for such a large withdrawal," he said, barely hiding his doubt. Marcus handed over 2 forms of ID and a business card. Whitaker barely glanced at them, shaking his head. "This doesn't look right. We usually require prior notice for transactions like this, and frankly, I'm not convinced you have the funds." His tone was cold, his posture closed. Marcus noticed the unspoken judgment, an invisible barrier rooted not in facts, but assumptions. Whitaker whispered something to the nearby security guard, who immediately began approaching with slow, measured steps. Marcus stayed calm, his voice steady. "You're welcome to verify my account details. Everything is in order." But Whitaker wasn't convinced. "I've dealt with people trying to scam us before," he said harshly. "Unless you prove otherwise right now, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." The guard was now only a few feet away, hand resting near his belt. The room grew tense. Marcus knew the moment was about to escalate. Marcus calmly pulled out his phone and dialed. "Cynthia, I'm at the downtown branch. We've got a serious problem with how customers are being treated. I need the regional director and HR on the line. Put me on speaker." The manager sneered, "Threatening to call someone won't save you." Marcus looked up, eyes steady. "Just wait and see." Whitaker's phone rang sharply, breaking the tense silence. His eyes widened when he saw the caller ID, Regional Director Cynthia Hargrove. He answered, trying to keep his voice steady. "Hello? Yes, Marcus is here. I wasn't aware of this situation." Then the voice of Cynthia rang loud enough for everyone to hear. "That's not just any customer. He's Marcus Green, CEO and majority owner of this bank." The lobby froze. The truth hit like a thunderclap. Whitaker's confident facade crumbled. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize," he stammered. Marcus locked eyes with him, voice firm and clear. "You didn't care to realize. That's the real problem." He paused, letting the words sink in. "How many others have you judged like this? How many customers have you made feel unwelcome because of assumptions you never bothered to question?" Whitaker could only bow his head in silence. Marcus addressed the room with quiet authority. "Mr. Whitaker, you are relieved of your duties effective immediately. This branch will undergo a full review to ensure this never happens again." Staff and customers watched in stunned silence as Marcus made it clear respect and fairness weren't optional, they were mandatory. A wave of applause broke out from the customers in the lobby. Shock turned into respect. What began as a moment of tension ended with justice served swiftly and undeniably. The bank had been reminded of its true responsibility. The story spread quickly online, sparking conversations everywhere. People reflected on how often appearances lead to unfair judgments. Marcus never sought the spotlight. All he wanted was fairness for everyone, no matter their skin color or dress. That day, he showed the world that respect should never be earned by privilege. It should be given freely to all people, every single time.